Hello.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
See if anyone else joins. If not, I'll be
Oh,
very
just-
upset.
1 second, Jen's just ringing me to join another call. I'll quickly join and then
Yep,
jump back.
no problem. A little bit worrying that two of them are not online.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. There was a few of them that weren't online. The only one I could see online was Jordan, I think it was.
Yeah.
But they have accepted. So
I guess we'll see. Usually I wait 15 minutes, and if they haven't showed up, then
I
Sorry.
remember. Don't you remember those twin training ones that never? Do you remember we
Yeah.
kept trying to do and then no one ever turned up to?
oh god, it's just ridiculous. Honestly,
I'm trying to work out how to not have that big
wasting my time.
Gonna have to do this, I think. There you go.
How are you anyway?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm all good.
It's good. Busy
Tired.
week, or you all right?
I think I'm about to get busier, basically. I think it's been okay recently. Like, it's basically CTP, the one they put me on, was mad
Yeah.
during the sort of before it went live, basically. I was going to say during the implementation, but we're sort of still in implementation, really. But now it's live, I'm not as busy as I think they anticipated I would be, because that was literally my only contract, or supposed to be.
Okay.
So that's why, obviously, with Kieran going on his sabbatical back to his old team, that's why I'm taking on everything here. So I think I'm probably about to get busier.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, I wasn't very busy for about like 6 months, to be honest with you. And then this month, everything just kicked off, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way it goes, though, isn't it? So it's not too bad. We can handle it when it's like just burst. As long as you get a little bit at the end of it where it is quiet, then it's all right.
Yeah, exactly.
How you getting on after your surgery?
Yeah, it's good now. It took a lot longer to recover than I was expecting, to be honest with you. I was like, yeah, I'll be fine. I'll be up in within like days, right? And the rest of the time off, I'll just go to cafes, go and I'll have a great time. And literally, like, I was out for like the whole 2 weeks. I was like, couldn't move properly, like the muscle, because they had to cut into the muscle to actually get the lump out.
Yeah.
And the muscle was hurting, the wound was hurting, everything was hurting, and they didn't give me any proper like painkillers either. So I just had to survive on like paracetamol and ibuprofen, and I was like, oh my god, like it was awful.
Dear.
But now I've gotten to a point where like I can move around and everything is fine. So now I can start exercising hopefully very soon again, which is nice.
Good.
So I'll probably try and start exercising like Monday, because that seems like a good day, because I'm a bit lazy.
Everything starts on a Monday.
Yeah.
Everything. And if you miss this Monday, don't worry. Just wait another week and then start the next Monday. Okay?
Exactly. Literally. So I was like, because I was gonna start this Monday, but then I had a very busy Monday, and I was like, you know what? I'm a bit tired.
Do you know what? Like, if you fail next Monday as well, do you know when else is a really good time to start things? January. Just wait till January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, ridiculous. We'll see if anyone. I mean, they're still not online, so
Yeah, it's not looking positive at the moment, is it?
no. What do you think, Kieran?
In terms of?
I don't know. Them not showing up.
Whether anyone's coming.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Tom problem, if you ask me.
Oh dear.
Okay, someone arrived.
Oh, there we go.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hello. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you guys doing?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
Good,
And
thank
I
you.
think Tom and Kieran are as well. Do you happen to know do you have any contact with Tanya and Claudia at all, or no?
Let me have a quick look.
Just drop Fiona a quick message as well.
Yeah, that'd be good. See what she says.
I sent a message into the chat, but I don't have any sort of like direct contact with the other coaches, fortunately.
Okay, that's fine. Let me just try and request them to join, and we'll see if that works.
Morning.
Hello. Oh, you're on mute. You sound far away. Oh, your thingy is take down the.
I'm far away.
There we go. Now you're back. Perfect.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm sorry. I signed so early and I thought, oh no, I had time to do this thing and blah, blah, blah. And then, oh no, it's 10 o'clock.
Yeah, if for the rest of the day, if we can try and be on time, that would be
Of course,
amazing.
Of course, no problem, Anna. It's okay. No worries.
All right, no problem. So we're gonna get started, and if Tanya joins, she joins, so that's fine. I thought we'd start with some introductions, and then we'll go straight into the training. We're gonna make sure that you all can log on to Citrix as well, because you are gonna be able to log on to the system today. So we'll get that sorted as well. All right, so just a little bit of introductions from everyone on the session today. So I'm Felicia. I'll be your compliance trainer for today. So I'll be kind of showing you around the system and how to do everything on the system and things like that. I have been with Reed for a little over 2 years to 3 years now. And I went straight into this team, which I enjoy very, very much. And then I thought we'd do an interesting fact as well. So my interesting fact for today is that I used to race in cycling professionally when I was younger. So competed in France, Italy, Sweden, the US, and unfortunately had to quit due to an injury. And I'm going to hand over to Kieran. You want to go?
Yeah, let's put my camera on to say hello. Good morning, I'm Kieran. I am the business process analyst for this contract. So part of a team that looks after all the contracts that Reading Partnership has. And kind of in the background working on any kind of guidances, any updates from the commissioner, just making sure what operations are delivering is in line with what's required for a contract, and just to support operations with anything that they may need. I've been with the business for 3 years now, just about to go into my 4th year. And interesting fact about me, I currently have 13 Magic the Gathering Commander decks.
Very good. And Tom?
Hi there, I'm Tom. I'm also a business process analyst. I'm on here because I will be taking over because we're losing Kieran just for a little bit of time. So when Kieran goes back to his old team, I'll be taking over on this contract. I've been with Reed, coming up 6 years. It's 6 years in a couple of weeks' time. I've worked across RSR, Reed Online, obviously now Reed in Partnership. I originally came over to Reed in Partnership to work on the Jets contract as an EA, progressed through to become a business manager on the Jets contract. And then when that came to an end, came across to the compliance team and started my work as a BPA. Interesting fact, you've really landed that one on me, Felicia. I don't want to say the same stuff that I normally say, so I'm going to say my granddad, there's an area in Antarctica that my granddad named. So there's a place in Antarctica called Wright's Shoal that my granddad named because he discovered it on the army maps. There we go.
That's really cool, actually. I didn't know that.
I'm not sure I've even said that out loud for about 10 years, so I'm not even sure where I've pulled that from, but there you go.
Very cool. Who do you want to hand over to, Tom?
I will hand over to Jordan.
Okay, yeah, there we go. Hi everyone, I'm Jordan. I'm one of the new health and wellbeing coaches, starting with Reed. I can't even remember what we were supposed to say. So an interesting fact about me, sorry about that. An interesting fact about me is I used to compete at a national level for hurdling when I was much younger. So I was part of a running club. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm not sure what else I was going to say.
Very cool. All
Yeah.
right. And last but not least.
Yeah, Claudia, can you hear me? I'm again, yeah. I'm as well a health well-being coach, working with Jordan. We started on Monday. No much yes and read.
Yeah.
Something interesting. Well, I'm a dance teacher. I'm
Oh,
Colombian.
nice.
Then I teach salsa. That may
Ah,
be something popular. And I love dancing. That's it, anything. But mainly I dance salsa because I'm Colombian, but I dance anything. Yeah.
very cool. All right. So, before we get into it, if Jordan, if you can put your camera back on just so I can see you guys while I hold the training, will be much easier on my part. Thank you. Perfect. Just so you know how my kind of training style works. So my training sessions are usually a little bit informal. So I'll go from showing you what the system looks like, maybe asking you to do it or share your screen and show it that way. And if the system doesn't work for any reason, if I need to show anything on my PowerPoint, I will show you that as well. I do run my training sessions in like on the informal side because I've learned that people just absorb information a lot better that way. You feel more comfortable asking questions and jumping in and anything like that. So that's just kind of how I like to run my sessions. If you need it a bit more structured, or if I'm going too fast or anything like that, then please just let me know. You can either unmute yourselves or raise your hand or anything like that. If you don't want to jump in, that's fine as well. Like if you don't want to say anything at the time, but you do have a question, you can just put it in the chat for me. And Tom and Kieran will keep an eye out in the chat for me. And also, if you raise your hand like this, Kieran and Tom will let me know as well. And I will come to you as soon as I can. Any questions regarding that? All good? Nice. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do, or that I'm going to ask you, is if you know how to log into Citrix. Have you logged into Citrix yet? Yeah?
I'm on Citrix now. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So
Yeah,
that's
I'm
a
logged into
very
Citrix
good,
as well. Right now.
amazing. So that's a very good first step in the right direction. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you this link right here. And when you click on that link, you're going to come to Orion UAT, and that's the system that we are going to be using today. So if you can just let me know once you're in that.
It says session expired for me.
Yeah, so if you just log out and then log in again, it should work.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, you're logged in?
Yeah.
Very good. You as well, Jordan. I saw a little nod, but yeah, very
It's
good.
just what I have is like it says homepage, members, vacancies. That's what we need to see. Okay.
Perfect.
Fine.
So can you now see my screen? Are you able to see it?
Yeah.
Very
Just
good.
jump in,
Yeah, go on,
Felicia.
Kieran.
Just morning, Tanya. Sorry.
Hi, Tanya.
What we've done so far is just logged into Citrix, which hopefully you should be able to log into. And Felicia's just popped a link in the chat. If you could click on the link, it should then come up with Orion UAT saying session expired. If you just click to log in again, it should bring you to a very similar homepage to this, if that's okay.
So basically, Tanya, when you see the same screen as I'm sharing now, just let us know and we'll continue.
I want to divide the screen, but I can't.
Oh, your thingy is up. So if you turn down your, there you go.
Do you want me to go straight into Orion or into Citrix?
So if you logged in on Citrix, and then if you just click the link that we put in the chat, that'll take you to the Orion UAT system, and that's the system that we're going to be on today. Very good. Just to check as well, Tom, are you able to log in to UAT? Just because I might need I know I'm going to need Kieran's backup at some point, but just if you're able to log in as well, because I might ask you to do a couple things too.
Yeah, no worries. I'll get in. That's not a problem.
Perfect. And everyone will be on Orion UAT. All right. You okay, Tanya? Yeah, no problem.
No, I think because our username for Citrix is first name dot last name, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't seem to like my password, which I'm pretty sure I'm remembering correctly.
Kieran, do you want to help Tanya with resetting the password?
Yeah, if it is just on that, it's your read.com password, not your read wellbeing password. So if it's different, it's
Okay.
the read.com one.
Let me try.
Difficult with all these passwords, especially when you're first getting started as well. It's just so many of them.
I don't think.
What I might probably do if you can't log in, Tanya, I'll probably just call you separately just to get you logged into Citrix, because without that, in fact, are you in an office today?
I'm in the office.
The office. So you won't need to log into Citrix if you're in an office.
Oh, shall I network it?
If you're on the Read network, it will automatically assign a Citrix for you basically through the network. So if you click on the link now, does it let you in, or does it say the page can't be found?
What on the? Sorry, if
on
I'm sounding dumb.
Link in the chat. It just says Orion. So if you just click on that one.
Let me go straight to the chat. I feel like an old person on Teams again. It's been so long.
Don't worry.
All right, Orion. Verifying link. Session expired. Log in again.
Yeah, so click on that and then it should bring you to the home page.
Oh, Supreme. It just wants my fingerprint.
Ah, perfect.
Scan your finger on a fingerprint reader. The page isn't working at the moment. Is what it says now.
What I'll do is I'll just give you a call and then we can rejoin afterwards. Is that all right?
That's fine.
Just so we can get this sorted, because otherwise there's a lot of training that's going to be. Yeah. I'll give you a buzz. 1 second.
Perfect. All right. In the meantime, Claudia and Jordan, we're gonna get on with it. Does your screen look the same? Are you able to create a member? Can you see that option?
Your member, 1 second.
Yeah, member, employer, vacancy, route planner tool on the home page.
Yeah, so yours will look like this. If you click on the little plus button, are you able to create a new member?
It says member.
Yeah?
Yes, I can create a new member.
Perfect. So that's the first thing that we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do is create a new member. Now, just a thing to note is that when you are, doing your day-to-day, usually 95% of the time, you won't actually have to create the member. It will come from the PSS team. So they will create the member for you and then add the first appointment into your diary. But just for today's purposes, because we are doing the training session, I need you to have a service user that we're going to use. So that's why you're creating a member today, okay?
Yeah.
All right. So you're going to click on create a new member. And you might have a few program types, but the one that we are going to use today is the Eat Well one. So we're going to create a participant on the Eat Well pathway for today, okay?
Yes.
Usually when they're creating a member, they will have the NHS number from the prep or from the referral. So when they get the referral, they'll have the NHS number, the name, and everything like that. But because we don't have any NHS number today, we are just going to click on the do not have an NHS number. And what that will do is it will basically just create one for us for today. Of course, we're also going to do a first name. Now, I like to do princess names, like Disney princess names. You can do whatever you want, but I'm going to do Moana Ocean for today. Very creative, I know. And I'll just put in a date. Nope, 1990. So once you have your first name, last name, and date of birth, once that it's all in, you'll create that member. And that'll now take you to this page here. The next thing that they're going to do, the PSS team is going to do, is they're going to make sure that all the fields that are yellow here are filled in. So that includes the title. So I'll do Miss on the title. Make sure you have an email address. Now, this does not need to be a real email address for today, so I'm just going to make one up. And then we're going to do the referral date as well. So I'll do that on the 11th. It's fine. And then what they also need to do, what PSS does on their time, is they're also going to fill in the acceptance to take part in the program. So they're just going to put that as yes.
What is the acceptance? Sorry.
Yeah, so acceptance to take part in the program
now.
down here. So it's just in the membership.
And I put yes, yeah?
Yeah, so just put yes.
Done.
So once that is all done, you'll just click on next. See if you get, and that has now created that member successfully.
Yeah.
Did it create your members?
Yes, okay, I put the wrong.
And then if you can just put the names of your members in the chat as well, because that in case you have any issues or anything, Tom and Kieran and I will be able to find your members very quickly. So you can either put the name of your member.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You know that when I was putting the date of birth, I put only 2 numbers, and then they asked me to do again, and I put 2021, and this person has 4-year-old. Then I can't change the date for the other date?
Birthday, you mean?
Yes. Like I went there and I tried to put like 2007, then it refers to an old value and a new value. Then what I do?
So if you can share your screen with me.
Well, I'm really bad on doing this. Sorry.
So in the teams.
I know. I can do it. It's fine. I know. I've done it before, but it's just
no problem.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
All right. So
then I went here and I changed. I put 21 before. Then I thought, oh, I'm going to change it. Then you can see here what it happened. It's just give me the old value, and then the old value I put was for 21. Yeah. Then I change it.
Yeah.
Then that's it. So I just did it because I thought, oh, couldn't be 4-year-old. Then when I change it, it doesn't change the current age, but it changed it on here.
So if you have you clicked on save?
No, maybe
so
just when I
save the information, and if we can just make sure that they're over 18 as well.
Exactly. Then it says 2007 is not over 18. No, 2000. We could put 2000. Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you just click save for me.
1 second. Save.
So you don't need to click that button. You can just click
No,
save
I did it now.
and click
Yeah,
save.
25. Yeah. Yeah. I clicked save already.
No, you need to click on save because otherwise the information won't change on the page. There you go. I think it might be saved now.
Yeah, yes, it's already changed. It's 25. Yeah. It says 25 years old.
Yeah,
It
yeah, no,
changed.
it's good now. Good. Okay, perfect.
Thank you. That's interesting. Good. Thank you.
So let me share my screen again.
Then I'm going to go out from
That's
there.
the wrong screen. 1 second. Sorry, that's me sharing the wrong screen. And there we go. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
All good. And then Claudia as well, if you can just put the name of your participant in the chat. And then Jordan, I see you already did that. So what I want you to do as well, you can see the membership number right up here. So I want you to put that in the chat as well.
1 moment.
Okay, let me just do that.
Yeah, no problem.
I don't know where I am now. Oh, I think I closed my page for some reason.
If you've closed it, that's absolutely
No,
fine.
I see it. No, I see it. You want me to put the membership number?
Yeah, you can either put the if you put the membership number and just the name of them as well in the chat.
Okay. Good.
Very good.
Okay, ma'am.
Because that just makes it easy for us to find them on Orion. So like in case we need to find them and see if something is not working or everything's been added or anything like that, it just makes it easy for us to find them basically. Very good. Perfect. All right. So now you've created your member. So the next thing that we're going to do is I'm just going to share my screen here. So for referrals, so the PSS team, which stands for the Program Support Services, will primarily receive the service user referrals and create the record on Orion. So that's what we have just done. So we've just created the record on Orion, okay? They will also conduct the first call to your service user to introduce the individual to the service while completing the MRF Stage 2 brief assessment questionnaire. The PSS team will ensure the service user is enrolled correctly onto the chosen pathway, whether this is in person or conducted remotely, all right? So the next thing that we're going to do is we are just going to complete that brief assessment questionnaire that the PSS usually does, okay? Mm-hmm. See if I can move out of my wonderful presentation and back into the system. So to complete that questionnaire that we just spoke about, you'll have to go to the questionnaires tab right here. Once you're on the questionnaires tab, you'll see that you have the questionnaires down here, and you have the different ones that you can choose from here, okay? So the one that we're going to complete, so we're pretending to be the PSS team at the moment, we're going to complete the MRF Stage 2 Brief Assessment Questionnaire.
Yeah.
So once I have that, I'm just going to launch that new questionnaire type.
Yeah.
So as you can see, this is all the, yeah, go on.
Just a quick one, sorry. For Tanya,
yeah,
I've just quickly created you a member, Tanya. I'm just popping the ID in the chat. So if you just go onto the left and search members and pop in this ID that I've just popped in the chat, this will then bring up the case you've got to. So you're up to speed where we are in the training.
Very good. And as you can see, this is all the questions that the PSS will try and fill out to the best of their ability when they have that participant on the phone. So you can take a moment and just look through them if you want. And all the yellow ones are mandatory fields. So they're fields that they have to fill out, okay? Mm-hmm. To the best of their ability, okay? So as you can see here, you have a bunch of different things to choose from. You can even put it as prefer not to say, if that's something that they want to do. And you can see you have a few other questions here that the PSS team will try and get the answer to as well. You also have their first language in here, whether they need a translator, whether they're pregnant, or if they're breastfeeding, and what their occupation is as well. You then have the kind of general health section here as well. So do you have any physical health problems? I'm going to put this as no. Do you have a pacemaker? No. Do you have any allergies or dietary requirements? I'll put no for now. And then this is for the smoking service. We're going to ignore this one because we're on the Eat Well service, I believe we put us on. So all of this information is something that they're going to try and do. And then we have the drink alcohol. So I'll do 4 to 5, 2 to 4, and we'll do 7 to 9, and 2 to 4 times a month. And when the PSS team has completed this questionnaire, they're still going to leave that as open. So we're going to do the same thing for now, okay? So we're just going to click on save. Once that is done, you'll see that it's been added like so. Karen, was there something from you?
Yes, I was just going to say, PSS will still answer the questions around the smoking and drinking, because as part of the contract, you can go on multiple different pathways. So they may come to you on the Eat Well first, but they then may also go on to the Drink Less and the smoking pathway as well. So the information may be filled in on there, but for the kind of pathways that you'll be looking at, you won't need to action anything with smoking. It'll be the individual who decides on kind of what pathways they go on. But just if you do see it, just know they can move across all the pathways.
Very good.
And one thing, if the person hasn't been able to collect one of the yellow questions, the questionnaire can be saved without that information?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
They
That's
have
it.
to answer all the yellow fields because they're mandatory fields. So they
good.
have to answer them. So even if the answer is prefer not to say, you still have to answer the question, or the PSS still needs an answer for it, if that makes sense. All right. So the next thing that we are going to do, so basically we're up to speed now what the PSS team has done so far before the participant is sent, or sorry, before the service user is sent to you, okay? So what we're going to do now from our side is we are going to update our calendar availability. So basically we're going to show the times that we are available for someone to be booked in to our calendar, all right?
Yeah.
So the way we're going to do that is we're going to go to to diary here, and then we're going to click on my diary.
Okay, diary.
So from here, you have a few different options, like the best way you want to show your diary. So you can see it on day, which is what it is on now. You can show it on week, or you can show it on period. It's really up to you when you want to, or how you want it to show. For period, like Karen likes to add for me, it shows the read period. I mean, Karen, you always explain it much better than I do, so go for it.
It's just the 4-week pay cycle. So
there you go.
It's in line with how the company does its pay windows. So you'll see we get paid on the 14th of March. So then the next period will be the pay period it lines up to. So it's not necessarily like a rolling 4-week window.
Very useful during Christmas period, I'll tell you that for sure. All right. So I'm going to have it on week for now, and I'm going to add a new one when I'm available for interviews, okay? So in the event type right here, I'm going to set it to available for interviews. And then on the date, I can choose, I want to do it all for next week, for example. So if I want to see my next week, I can do that. So this is the next week. So let's say I want to do available for interviews, and I want to book it in on the Wednesday on the 19th and have my start to be 09, let's say 9:30 till 10:30. Now you have an option here how you want to do your available for interviews, okay? So you might have to run this by, is it Fiona, I believe, Kieran?
Yeah, Fiona or Jeanan.
Yeah, Fiona, Jeanan, how they want you to do your slots, because sometimes on different contracts they might want you to do it slightly differently, okay? So they might want you to add it as half-hour slots, or they might want you to add it as I'm available from 9:30 till 12:30. So basically a full slot rather than individual ones. So it's kind of, you have to check with them which ones they prefer, what you kind of prefer your diary to look like. So we're going to do it from 9:30 till 10:30 for now. We're also going to put it on a repeat. So I can choose, for example, I want it to repeat every Wednesday, and I want it to repeat until, let's say, August 1st. So once I have all that information in, I'm going to create that event. And now it's taken me to when that ends. So you can see that it's taken me to 30th of July, which is when I set my end period to, okay?
Yeah.
So if I go back to my period and go back to March, I can see that it's now been filled out when I am available for those interviews. The same thing goes for if you want to set when you have your lunch, for example. So let's say I want to say I have my lunch and I'm going to start it from the 12th, so today, and I always take my lunch, let's say between 12:30 and 1. And I'll do that on a repeat for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And let's say I just do it till the end of March. Once it is done, I'm going to create that event. And that has now been created as well. And you can also see that when an interview has been booked in for me, that is right here in a different color. So you can see here I am available for interviews. Here's my lunch, and here is an interview that has been booked in for me on the 24th of March. Any questions on making your calendar or making your, availability on your calendar, how to do that?
I do.
Yeah.
So how would you edit that if you needed to? Like, how would you?
Do you mean the whole thing or each individual one?
Either. So once you created,
Yeah.
so for example,
So,
what we just did. So once you created that, how would you, if
yeah,
you
so
needed to,
let's
how would you
say,
amend?
no, absolutely. So let's say I'm on my on the period, and let's say a new one or an interview has been scheduled in from 10:30 or 10 to 10:30, right? So this slot right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that one, and I can just delete that one if that one has been booked in, and it'll show that I'm no longer available for that one. And even if a interview has been booked in from 10 to 10:30, for example, if the PSS team try to book in that same time, they won't be able to do that because your calendar will block that out because it'll feel that it has an interview already booked in. Does that make sense?
Okay, so that's just one. I think I was more like if you had to do the whole.
So that's the
That would be the
bad
same
thing about
process.
it.
Oh, that's
So the
okay.
bad
You have
thing
to
about
do.
it, if you book, for example, let's say you want to book your whole April out, and then you're like, oops, I'm not actually available for the whole April, then you'd have to delete each of them individually.
Oh wow.
Just Felicia, just click on one. So just scroll down. You can delete you can delete on the where it's got the repeat until. If you click on that, it deletes this instance
yeah.
and all repeats. So if it's a linked one, if you've booked it for every Wednesday for the foreseeable, you can delete all of them. So you can do it through that way. If it's a case of you've manually added them individually, you have to remove them individually. If that clears that up.
Okay.
There we go. Any more questions? No? All good? No problem. All right, so next thing is when you have an interview with someone. And if you want to go to that participant's profile, you can do that straight from your calendar if that is something that you want to do. So let's say I want to go to Ronald Duck's profile. I'll click on that appointment. Now you can see down here on member, I can now view that. So I can go straight to that participant's profile. All right. Very good. Any questions? No? I'm guessing no hands or anything in the chat.
No, all good.
No problem. All right. So I just want to go a little bit into the different pathways quickly. So like I said, today we are going to do the Eat Well pathway, but like we know is that there are a bunch of different ones. So you have the Move More, Eat Well, Drink Less, Lose Weight, and a bunch of different ones, right? And for each one of them, there are different, things. You have one for the Move More, Eat Well, and Drink Less. You have the 1 session a week for 10 weeks. For the Lose Weight one, you have 8 sessions over 12 weeks. And then you have the group sessions and things like that. So when it comes to this one, as long as you understand that today we are just going to be doing the Eat Well one. So that's the only one that I'm going to go through today. Like we know there are different pathways and a few of them will ask you to book in, things at different times. That's not something that we're going to go through today a lot. So that is something that you need to go through, I believe, with ops, and they will let you know when certain things need to be booked in. But what I will go through today is how to book them into the system. Does that make sense? Yeah, all good? Anything you want to add regarding that, Karen?
No. So it's pretty much that each one will virtually be the same in terms of the length of the delivery of the contract, and we'll follow the same pattern where you'll have an initial meeting, you'll have normally 8 follow-on sessions, and then a final meeting because most of them are 10 weeks, and then it's just kind of what needs to be done at the meetings. But in terms of the system functionality, they're either going to be just a regular meeting or a meeting where you take readings and do a questionnaire. So the functionality will be covered, but all of that is also outlined in the operational guidance as well.
Very good. So if you're not already, what I would like you to do is go to your member. So I'm going to go to Moana here. And one thing that you do need to keep in mind when the service user first gets assigned to you. So when that first meeting has been booked into your calendar, one of the first things that you have to do is actually change the advisor to yourself on here so it becomes your service user. All right. So what I want you to do is find your own name in the drop down of advisor. You can see here is mine. So I'm going to put my own name in there. And then once you've done that, I want you to click on save as well. Does that make sense why you have to do that? Very quiet, so I'm going to assume yes.
Just
hearing anything from you?
Yeah, just in terms of for the business as well. So there are reports on Power BI that are linked to your advisor status. There's many reports it pulls through, But when you have like your monthly check-ins with Gina or Fiona, they'll probably want to kind of review your caseload, and Power BI will pull a report of who you've got on, and that is purely assigned by that advisor. If you don't assign someone new advisor, it's going to be kind of hitting on your performance as well. So just make sure that's done, because it keeps all the reports accurate, and then kind of discussions that you have will be a true reflection of what your caseload looks like.
All right, very good. And then as well, I might need you, Kieran, to talk through the member one, because it didn't work on this contract when I tried to sign. Oh, now it works. Never mind.
That could help.
But if you could talk through that one anyway, it would be good.
Yeah, so what you have to do then, because the contract is split into Kensington, Chelsea and Westminster, is you then have to assign them a team which is related on their postcode. So it's not necessarily where you're delivering the session, it's where the participant lives, as the service user lives. So it will either be Westminster or Kensington and Chelsea, and it's going to be either remote or face-to-face on there. If PSS pop it as new referral, once you've started them on the program, you just assign them to remote or face-to-face. The group one, there are sessions that can be the pathways that are a group focus only, but they kind of won't be with you yet. So for this instance, for Moana, she lives in Westminster and she's having the remote service, so you just select Westminster remote. And again, that goes back to the commissioner in terms of reporting, because we need to report on how many people we are seeing from Westminster and how many we're seeing from Kensington and Chelsea.
All right. Any questions regarding that? We're all good? Everyone's updated themselves as the advisor and member. Perfect. I saw a nod from Jordan, Tanya. Yeah, Claudia? Yes, you did as well. You're on mute, so I'm assuming you said, yes, I did. You're still on mute. There we go.
I know. I'm fine. I was trying to find the membership. We went to the calendar and I couldn't come back, but now I'm fine.
You found it?
Yeah.
Very good. All right. So next thing that we're just going to chat through is conducting the initial meeting. All right. So in the first session with your service user, you should try, if you can, to book in all their appointments. It's just best practice to do so if they're happy to do that and if you're happy to do that. If they're not happy to do that, or if you don't want to do that, that's fine. It's just best practice to book them all in. And this is what they all of them look like for the different pathways. So you have them move more, making positive change, eat well, healthy heart and mind, drink less, and then we have the drink less again here. So you can see they have the 10 weekly sessions, 4 monthly session, and then the drink less 1 session only.
Just on that, there are some contracts where the initial meeting counts as like week 0. For this contract, the initial meeting is week 1. So as part of the 10 weekly sessions, the initial will be week 1. So not to confuse it where they've been on the program for a week, which sometimes can be confusing. But when Felicia gets into the section of adding meetings, you'll be able to see, and you'll be able to see on yours as well, in terms of you've got like week 2, week 3, week 4, as an example. So it's just making sure you kind of keep in line with it. But that's why we try and say get them kind of all booked in, so there isn't any confusion as to potentially what week they will be on.
All right. Any questions? No? All good. So before we get into booking meetings and things like that, what I am going to do is I'm going to send you on a just 10-minute break. All right. Because I'm going to try not fry your brains too much today with too much systems. Okay. So we're going to have quite a few breaks today, just so you can, take a little bit of off screen time. Okay. So I'm going to give you 10 minutes. So I'm going to put in the chat, please. I'll be back at 11. So take 10 minutes, be back at 11, and then we're going to get more into the system and adding meetings and stuff. All right?
Right.
Thank you. Perfect. See you then.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Hello.
Hi. Hello, hello. All right, it's 11. We'll see. Claudia, Jordan, you back? Not yet. There we go. Very nice. 2 out of 3. Can we get 3 out of 3?
Hello.
Hopefully.
Hey, hello, Tanya.
I
How you
mean,
doing,
technically
Claudia?
he's not. Technically he's not late yet. He still has
like
15
like
seconds.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh.
Should we get countdown clock on go?
I was talking to Babette.
Oh my god,
That's
he's not
not right
late.
on time.
Yeah, Babette
Wow.
Babette used to be my colleague. I used to work with one year in the past. And then she said hello to everybody there.
Ah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can share my screen. All right. So, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So, we're now going to continue with conducting the initial meeting, kind of what has to be done and everything. So, the health, you guys, you coaches, should review the brief assessment questionnaire, which will have already been completed during the service users call with the PSS. So this is the questionnaire that we completed when we created them, okay? So we're going to go to the questionnaires tab. And this is the brief assessment questionnaire. So this is what you will review during that initial meeting, okay? So to do that, you can click on the ID number. And this is how you can then review all the information. If you want to fill anything else out, you can do that as well. And here too. And once you have reviewed everything, taken your time, reviewed everything, you're happy with it, you filled in as much as you possibly can, what you're going to do is you're going to move the questionnaire status from open to completed. And once it is done, you're going to click on save. You'll now be able to see that that status has changed. So it's changed from open to completed.
One question again.
Yeah.
What was the first thing that you pressed to review the assessment questionnaire?
Yeah, so
Me.
you just click on the ID number.
The ID. Also, I was looking for the ID. Perfect. Yeah, I know where is it now.
Yeah. So you just click on the ID number.
Good.
All right. So the next thing you then need to do is actually complete the Eat Well pre-questionnaire. Okay. So this is now we're going to launch another questionnaire. So from the drop down, you're going to choose the Eat Well pre and launch new questionnaire.
Oh no. Sorry, I have an error trying to do what I was doing.
You may just have to open a fresh link, just re-log into UAT.
I don't know, but maybe I just went off and come back. Do I have to go to so I have the member person that I created in front of me, but that's it. And then after I have something referral signpost with my total cholesterol, I don't know what I have.
Do you want to share your screen so we can see where you're at?
Yep, of course I can. Let me go. I'm going to share my screen. Did I share the screen? No.
No, you shared the wrong one.
Yeah, so you're currently sharing the Citrix one.
Okay, sorry. Oh, going back. Stop sharing and share again. Okay, that's it. Here I am. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
so if you just go to if you go up and to the questionnaires tab, so all the way to the right.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, that was really easy.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. And then you need to
and then-
launch. Oh, hold on. So you need to launch the new questionnaire. So this is the old one.
okay. Now what I do, I just press
So
the
go down, scroll all the way down, and then just click on back.
Okay.
Yep. And then I can share on my screen again. So if I click on back as well, what you want to do is from the drop down, you're going to choose the Eat Well Pre questionnaire and then launch that.
Okay.
Did you get it up from your side, Jordan and Tanya?
Yeah.
I can see you. I saw
Yeah.
Tanya's. Yeah.
Yes, but
Yeah.
it doesn't have. I can open the questionnaire. I can launch the questionnaire, but not under an ID. Even though maybe I've missed something. So I've gone in. I found my member. Searched member. Found the. Oh, why is it on there? What's going on now? Okay, hold on. Member ID. Paste. Search. I found the one that test one that Kieran made.
Yeah.
I've gone into questionnaires.
Yeah.
And it says launch new questionnaire, but on the ID bit, there's no ID. Is it that I've not saved something?
Right. So we did this step when you and Kieran were off on your other call. So the only step that we did without you was the step that the PSS team would have done. So we completed the MRF stage 2 brief assessment questionnaire, which is why we have the ID number. So if you want to complete that one quickly, so you have that one, we can.
Okay, cool. If you want to, just so you're up to speed, I can quickly complete that one for you.
Yeah.
And then once I let you know it's done and refresh the page, you should be able to then do the next questionnaire.
Okay. All right. Let me come out of this. Oh, there's lots. Let me come out. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So that's why you don't have it, basically. But yeah, so you'll do the Eat Well Pre and launch that questionnaire. And have you all launched it, Claudia, Jordan?
Yes. Yeah.
So you can see it.
Yeah.
So if you I'm going to give you a couple minutes to look through the questions, and if you want to fill them out, you can do that as well. So I'll give you a little bit to do that.
If you just refresh the page, Tanya, the MRF stage 2 brief assessment questionnaire should be there for you, so you can have a quick look at it. I have closed it, so you completed it, so there's nothing you can do with it. And then you just need to launch the Eat Well Pre questionnaire and complete that.
Once you all have launched it, if you want to just put an X in the chat for me, just so I know that you've had a look through the questions and everything. And once you've done that, just put a little X in the chat for me.
I'm looking from the question. Let me X.
Very nice, Claudia. Nice, Jordan. Oh, your thingy. There you go.
This is like right at the beginning of the pandemic when everyone was like, "You're muted."
I know.
Exactly. I get the gist of filling it out. Shall I just complete it and then and then I'm
Yeah, so once you've
done.
had a
Yeah.
good look at the questions, and if you want to fill anything out, you can do that. And once you have, you're going to move the status to completed. All right.
Complete.
And then save.
Save.
So once you complete something, you can still open that, as you can see here, and have a look through anything. But please make sure you save it every time, and that is marked as completed, okay?
Oh, that's interesting. Sorry, just to ask again.
Yeah.
Are all of them compulsory? Because what I'm finding... Ah, okay. Is it just the short Warwick Edinburgh bit, the Shrems? Is that compulsory? Because the others don't, that they're highlighting yellow, but no others are.
In terms of all questionnaires, ideally all questions are compulsory. The ones in yellow are the ones that are mandatory to actually complete it in terms of from a system functionality.
Understood.
But you ask everything. So the Swim Webs is just what we put in our bid as a business, that we offer mental health and wellbeing support with all our contracts.
Okay.
So you'd complete it with the service user. If it's a case they aren't necessarily bothered about it because it's a scale that gives a score, and they say, no, I don't want to complete it, or no, that's not relevant, I just want to get better at eat well, you will just pop the middle score for all of them, just because it's a scale, basically. But yeah, anything that's on the questionnaire, ask it. There are some that are going to have answers of prefer not to say, but just kind of gauge with with the service user kind of how they are. You'll know if you're asking questions and they give a bit of pushback that you're probably going to be marking the Swim Webs as an example as the middle one.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I would still ask all the questions, but I just noticed that it was the only ones that was was highlighted in yellow. So I realised that's probably like KPIs, as you're saying. That's what things are scored on. Okay.
One thing I want to know as well is that the questionnaires on the different pathways might be named slightly differently. So even if it's the pre-questionnaire, what that you'll conduct in the initial meeting, right? They might be named slightly differently in each of the pathways. So for the Eat Well one that we did, it's called Eat Well Pre. But for the Drink Less one, for example, you'd complete the Making Positive Changes post-questionnaire. So they might differ slightly in what they're called, but it's still the same principle that you'd complete that questionnaire in the initial meeting, okay? Very good. Any questions so far? I don't hear anything from you, so I'm going to assume no.
Yeah, good.
Oh, very nice. So once all relevant discussions have taken place during the initial session, you guys should complete the following. So the first one is to book the service user next appointment if that hasn't been done already. Capture the service user's measurements, mark the attendance of the current appointment, and dialogue the appointment details and send relevant communication as well. So don't worry about these steps too much at the moment. We are going to go through each one during our session today. It's just so you know what you'd have to do in that session, okay? Very good. So the next thing that we are going to go into, kind of going down a different path, is creating a group session, okay? So how to create a group session. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to go back to where we were before, to My Diary. From in here, you're going to create a new diary event. So in the event type, you're going to choose training course, okay? So scroll down and you're going to choose training course. Of course, you're going to choose the date for this, so when it's going to start. So let's see, I want to start mine on Monday, let's say, and I'm going to have a start time of 1 o'clock, for example. Then you're going to name the course as well. So for this one, we're creating a course for Eat Well. So we're going to do the course name, and then we're going to do the group location and what the course type is, okay? So let's say we do Eat Well. And then we'll do the group location. Give me a location, Karen.
Just do remote, just for the easiest.
I will do remote.
Sorry.
Remote. And we'll do it as a getting started. You're then gonna choose the location for this as well. As you can see, I have a lot of locations on mine. That's because I'm on multiple different contracts. You won't have that. You'll only have a few of them. I should have a digital option down here somewhere. There we go. Oh, where'd it go? There we go. So if it's a remote one, of course, you'll choose the digital as a location name. And then the submission limit will be 15, or that will be this kind of slots available for the course that we are creating. The next thing you're going to do is make sure you have the right program, okay? So that's important because of the pathway that we're creating this for, all right? So for this one, we're going to do it for Eat Well. So you can see 1UKCW Eat Well. I'm going to move that one over. So you can see it's been added here. And then in addition to this as well, you do need to select a course template from here as well. I don't believe we're able to do that now here because we're on a training system. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in terms of for the courses, they need to be created on the back end, but for the training system, they haven't. But all you do is from the drop down of modules, pick one, click on the add to course, and then create event.
There's a test one.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there you go.
There's a test one that we can use. So on modules, do the 1UKCW and add that course, okay? As you can see, that has now been added, and we can see that it's been added down here. Once that is all done, you'll create the event, okay? So if you have any questions, let me know. You all look very in concentration mode, so. If you're saying something, Tanya, I cannot hear you because you're on mute. It might just be concentrating face.
I have trying to create the event, and it says that please select at least one course template or module when creating.
So that's in modules. You'll use the drop down, and you should have the option of 1UKCW.
I did choose the one 1UKC test.
So click that one and then add course. And once it's added,
okay.
It should come up here.
That's it. I didn't add that one. Perfect.
That's fine. And now you should be able to create it.
Yeah, I created event. Yeah.
Very nice.
I've created it.
Nice. Yeah. Perfect.
Then, yeah.
All good from you, Tanya? I can see a nod. Nice. I'll create mine as well. So once that is all done, you can see that it's been automatically booked in to your calendar. So you should automatically see it now. And you should, if you click on period as well, be able to see it in your calendar here as well. So you can see that it's been added on my Monday here. So all the modules for this course has now been added throughout my diary, okay? Any questions regarding creating a group session?
No.
All good?
Good.
Very nice. All right, so now we're going to submit a service user to a group session, okay? So in the slot that we just created, so I'm going to click on the one that I just created, which is this one, and scroll down. You'll be able to see that we have the information on here, all right? So the thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on this little person down here with the green arrow.
Yeah.
So click on that one and it says, would you like to submit this member to the entire course and not just to this module, okay? So you're going to sub to the full course. You're now going to find your member on here, okay?
No, I don't find my member. Yeah.
No, we're gonna look for them, so you are gonna find them. Don't
So I'm
worry.
just trying to follow along. It's a bit tricky because I've only got one screen. Where would
Don't-
I be on this screen?
Yeah, so if you click on the course you created,
Okay.
scroll down, you should see a little
Scroll down.
person with a green little
Yeah, I
arrow
see
on
it
him.
now. Would you like to submit this member to the entire course and not just this module?
Yeah.
Okay. And
So
which
you'll
one would I
submit
do?
him.
Submit to full course?
Yeah, so you'll submit him to the full thing.
Okay, submit to full
And
course. Okay.
because when I press membership ID, it goes to all the old programs.
Yeah, so you should have the same screen that I do right now, okay?
Yeah, program. Yep, I'm on
Yeah.
there. Thank you.
So you're now going to search for your member. So you can
Yeah.
either search for their first name and last name,
Uh-huh.
or you can use the ID that you put in the chat, okay?
Yeah, I found the name. It's okay. Search.
There, she should be on there. There, so I can see Jordan's and I can see mine. So obviously when they have similar names, make sure you use the right ID, okay? So I'm gonna choose my Moana. There we go. And I'm gonna do submit member to course. And you can now see that course submission inserted successfully.
Okay,
So I'm gonna click on continue. And I can now see all the information about the course again. I can submit another member again. And I can also see that on my course, Moana down here has been submitted. I can see Jordan nodding, so I'm guessing you have the same screen as mine.
Course
Yeah, I've
create
got submitted as well. I've done it.
Very
Oh,
nice.
sorry. It says,
Go on, Claudia.
1 second. I'm in the place where it says I have the course details and the person and second. And it says submit member to course, yeah?
Yep.
But when I do that, it says member has already been submitted to, okay, fine, back.
Yeah, so
already
they should,
submitted.
then they're already there.
Yeah, it's already submitted, yeah, it's fine.
Very nice. Tanya, all good from you? You were on
So
mute.
I'm pretty sure I did all
Yeah.
of that. But
So
now maybe
now,
I've just gone into the wrong place, so now I can't see.
don't worry, we're gonna double check that we've
Okay.
added our member now, okay? So what we want to do is we're now gonna go to our members, our service users like profile that we were before, okay? So if you click on member, and I'm gonna use recent members. And here I'm gonna go to my Moana. And if I go to courses, I can see that she has indeed been submitted to the course. Yeah?
Yeah, I can see mine too.
Can you see it on yours, Tanya?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I see mine.
I've clearly not done it properly.
No, that's fine.
I thought I had.
So, because you
No, it
haven't
says
added them,
no course submissions.
that's fine.
Okay.
So since you haven't added them, Tanya, we'll do it from your way, because there's another way that you can add a member from the participant record if you don't want to go through the calendar like we just did, okay?
Okay.
So the way to do it, like Tanya needs to do now, is make sure you're on the participant record or on the service user record, like we are now. So you'll be on the courses tab. So this is, for example, if Claudia has made a group session and Jordan, you want to put your participant on Claudia's session, for example. All right. So to do that, you'll go down, well, you make sure you're on the courses tab, go down, and you can see that it says submit member to new course or module. So you'll click on that. And this is where you're gonna search for the group session, okay? So as you can see, you have a bunch of different things you can put in. So you can put in the course start date, like from and to. You can do, of course, the status, whether it's an internal one or an external one, and of course the right program, okay? So I'm just going to do a search and see what comes up. And you can now see that I can see all your lovely courses now. So we have mine, Jordan's, Tanya's, we have Claudia's here as well.
Start to.
That's fine. So Tanya, you can now choose if you want to add it to your own, if you want to add it to mine or Jordan's. So for example, I'm going to add mine to Jordan's. And submit member to course.
Got it. It's done.
Yeah?
Great.
Yes.
There you go. So you can now see that this member has been submitted both to mine and to Jordan's as well. Any questions? Does it make sense? I know it's a bit confusing at first, but does it make somewhat sense at least?
No, it makes sense. It's okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Very good. Anything from you, Kieran, that you want to add?
No, nothing from me. That all covered. Thank you.
Very nice. All right. So the next thing that we're going to go through is how to mark attendance on a course, okay? So you've had your group session, now you need to mark off the attendance of everyone, all right? So we're going to go back to my diary. I'm going to use week because I need to find my session that I just made. So this is the group session that I made. So I'm going to click on that one to get all the details up. And then if I just scroll down, you can see that the Moana is already here, all right? So here's where I can mark attendance for her. So I can say, yeah, she was here or she wasn't here or, you know, whatever might be that she needed to be, okay? So I can mark that off from here. And I can give any feedback from here as well. So this way, this is when you own that group, okay? So when you have created that group session, you can look from this way, all right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, if you haven't created the group session, so you know how I put Moana on Jordan's session. So because that is not my session that I created, I need to go back to Moana's record. I'm going to go back to Moana's record and go to the courses tab. And then from the courses tab, if I want to mark the one that Jordan did or that I submitted Moana's to, Jordan's group session, I'm going to edit the details on here. Sorry, down here. As you can see, we have the details and edit. So I'm going to edit that. And here you can see that we have the attendance status here again. And we also have the feedback window like we did as well.
Good.
Any questions regarding that?
No, I'm going to try.
Yeah. So does it make sense how you can do it kind of both ways? You can do it through the participant record and through, if you're the group owner, through the calendar way. Does that make sense, everyone?
Yeah.
Any questions?
Are we able to go through this test platform at home? Well, I say at home, like in our own time, because I think it's one of those things where I could roughly get the gist of what I'm supposed to be doing, but I kind of need to spend time in it and just click, and I need to play around.
No, that's absolutely fine. So
I feel like I've
what we are gonna do.
Understand.
Don't worry, like after this session, what we are going to do is that Kieran and I and Tom will book in a Q&A session with you for next week. So between today and next week, we're going to give you a few tasks that we want you to complete on the system in your own time. So you can have a look through and kind of take your time and look through everything and just do those tasks, okay? And then during that Q&A session, we'll answer any questions that might have come up during today and that session. And we're going to test you on your knowledge of the system as well. So kind of see that, okay, Claudia knows how to add an appointment. Jordan knows how to do everything. So we're fine to add them on to the live system now. Okay, so you will have that time in between. And during that time as well, what both Kieran and I will do is we will be available during that time for any questions. You can give us a Teams message, you can give us a call or anything if you might need help in that moment and don't want to wait until whatever time next week, okay? And also what we'll do is Kieran will send you the guidance that you can look through, and I will send the presentation that I've used today as well. So you have both those options so you can have a look through, okay?
Fabulous. Yes.
Okay.
So don't worry, you won't be abandoned after this session.
Feel free to use me.
Oh, you disappeared. There we go.
I think Tom was offering these services.
I think he was, but he disappeared halfway through, so you don't really know.
Awesome.
I think maybe my microphone stopped working. Apologies.
Yeah, okay, Tom. We almost believe you.
I try. I think I feel the same like Tanya said. In the moment, I can see, oh, it look, good. I can do it. I have all the right things. But when you come back, like, oh.
Yeah. No, so don't worry.
It's
You're in luck.
It's fine.
You have all three of us, Kieran, me, and Tom. So whoever you want to contact, just feel free to contact us literally anytime. If you want to give us a call or a Teams message, however you're comfortable, just, feel free to do that. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Any questions before I move on to our next little thing we're going to do in the system?
Everything fine for me?
Yeah. Oh, good. Okay. So the next thing that we are going to do, so you coaches should book the service users' next weekly appointment during their current appointment, just to get that time and date, if you haven't already booked it, like we said in that first initial session, which you don't need to do, but it's easy. But if you haven't done that, then of course you need to book the next appointment in, okay? So that's what we're going to do now. So we're going to go to the Read Interviews tab. So you're on your participant. We're going to go to Read Interviews. And from down here, we're going to book an interview. And I know it says interview. It's just on the system. It's actually an appointment. Okay, so you're booking in an appointment. So you're going to click on that. We're going to do remote for this one. And in the interview type, this is where you can choose what it is that you're actually doing, right? So you've had the initial. So let's say we're doing the session 1, okay? You're then going to choose the date for this as well. So let's say I want to have the next one, session 1, I want to have it next week on the 19th. And I'll do from 3 to 3:30. So once I put all my information in and I'm happy with it, I'll just click on save. And you can now see that interview has been booked successfully. Okay. And you'll click on continue. And from here, you can see that the first one has indeed been booked in. Yeah, any questions regarding that one? All good? Very nice. Now, let's say we want to book another one in. So we've booked in session 1. So we're going to book in session 2, let's say. So we'll do session, did I miss it? There we go, session 2. And we'll choose the date. So I did that 19th. Let's say, oh yeah, I am available on the 27th. And we'll book in from 3 again. Apparently me and this person likes 3 o'clock. 3 to 3:30. And then save that. Yep, everything's fine. Continue. So now let's say that you've booked the session in. Everything's fine. Everything was fine and dandy when you booked that in. That's fine. But now the person has contacted you and they'd like to cancel that one and reschedule it, okay? So when a session is canceled, you should not just reschedule that same appointment, okay? So technically in the system, you can go back into the appointment and change the date and time, okay? Technically, you can do that, but we do not want you to do that, okay? So let's say this session is canceled. Let's say you've on session 1, they're like, oh, that's fine. Session 2 has been canceled. They need to reschedule it, okay? You need to go back into that appointment. In the attendance, you need to put member canceled. Go down, and you can put any notes you want. So you can say member canceled because they had intense flu, for example. Save that. And you can say, see that, no, it's not been booked yet. Do you wish to continue without booking? You're going to say, okay. It'll now prompt you to book a new one in. If you're not ready to do that yet, that's fine. You can click on back. And you can see that this one has now been canceled, okay? So that appointment has been canceled. So we need to book a new one in. So we're going to book another one in. Remote. And then, Tom, you might have to double check in the guidance because I know it's different on different contracts. So I'm going to give you another example on a contract I'm on. So on a smoke-free contract, they have different sessions as well, just like you do here. But if one session is cancelled, you wouldn't schedule it in as session 2 again. You'd schedule the next one in, which is session 3. So basically, they just skip session 2. Now, Tom, you might have to double check in the guidance for me if it's the same on this contract or if they'll schedule in session 2 again. Could you double check that for me?
Yeah, no worries. Give me a sec. I'll pop it in the chat.
Very nice. Do you understand what I mean by that, guys? Does that make sense? I can see some nods, so I'm assuming you know what I mean.
Will they then, so if you're skipping to the next session, is that then like a catch up or an add-on at the end of the
See, that's why I'm trying to get Tom to check. So, because on some,
I was saying, no, Felicia, especially if we are going, because we're going to take groups, then that's a little bit, yeah. So if somebody rescheduled, we know reschedule to.
Yeah, so we'll get Tom and Kieran to double check what it is like, because it might be like on other contracts like that they want the participant a certain amount of time, and no matter if they cancel a session, you might just need to book if they cancel session 2, you book the 3rd one in, and there is no extension on it, if that makes sense. You will just not have a session 2. But I know in some contracts you'd schedule in the session 2 and then have schedule 3, 4, 5. Does that make sense? So we'll get Tom and Kieran to double check and they'll let us know.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the file now. Kieran's hidden it somewhere, but yeah, as soon as I know, I'll let you know.
He's hidden it somewhere. So I'm going to assume that they just want us to continue. So I'm going to book in session 3, okay? So session 3 would be, so that's 1, 2, 3. So it'd be first week of April. So I'll do it April 4th. And I'll just do again, let's mix it up. I'll do 3:30 till 4. And save. So this is now what it should look like, okay? So you cancel that one, and the next session has been booked in. You didn't name it anything different, didn't change the date or anything like that. You literally just canceled it. And the reason we do this is just to have an accurate representation of the participant record. So, if they cancel 3 times in a row, for example, we wouldn't be able to see that if you just rescheduled that same session or renamed that session every time. So that is why we do it this way. Oh, and Kieran is back. Hello, Kieran.
Hello. Sorry, I had to jump off another contract. Just had to deal with something quickly.
No, that's absolutely fine. It's perfect time that you're back, actually, because we wanted to ask with this contract in particular, when a session is cancelled, would you just jump straight to the next session? So like I've done here, session 2 was canceled. I've gone straight to session 3, or would you reschedule that to another session 2?
You do it through to session 3. So the ideal scenario is they attend every single session.
Yeah.
If it's a case that they cancel, and so for example they're on holiday for the entire week and you know they are, you'd still book it in, but then you'd just go straight onto session 3, just because it's a time scaled delivery where they've got 10 weeks of support basically, and whether they attend or not, the support is still offered. Ideally, for just in this example where it's member cancelled, that's the slightly different, where we would then have to accommodate that week within the week, because it's because of us we've cancelled in that scenario. But yeah, session 1 is the initial. Session 2, if they don't attend it, you just go straight onto session 3 the following week.
So does that make sense, everyone? Yeah, I can see nods, so I'm assuming it makes sense. All right. Any questions before I move on to the next bit? No, all good. Does it make sense so far, the system? I know it's a new system and everything, but does it make sense so far?
I think it's just going to be one of those things where we have to just like do trial and error. I don't think I can really say like it makes sense in a sort of roundabout way, but
Yeah.
we'd have to just try
Like
and use it essentially.
Yeah, like I said, Kieran and I will be available for when we book in that Q&A next week. Kieran and I, and Tom. Sorry, Tom, I keep leaving you out. Not intentional, I promise.
I'm not insulted at all.
But yeah, we will be available for you for any questions. Like I said, you'll have my training to go off of, and you'll have the guidance as well. So we won't abandon you, okay? I promise. All right. So we've now done everything we need to. Let's say we've had all the different sessions. We've had session 1, 2, 3, 4, however many sessions there are, okay? So now we're gonna book in the final appointment on the program. So final appointment for this one, specifically week 10, okay? So with this one, we're gonna book that one in, do it as remote. We'll do it as session 10.
Okay.
I'm not gonna count the weeks. We'll see, wait, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It might not be right, but I'm gonna go with it. And we'll do from 11 to 11:30, let's say. And save that. So let's pretend we're now doing the last session with our service user, okay? So during this session, it's very, very important that we do the right questionnaire, okay? So we're going to do the final questionnaire on the final appointment, okay? So that would be the Eat Well Post questionnaire. So I'm going to go to my questionnaires tab. And from down here, I'm going to do the Eat Well Post and launch that questionnaire. And I'll give you a few minutes or a couple moments to have a look through the questions on your side. And then you can fill them out as well if you want. And then once you're done, you're going to move the status to complete. So once you have had a look through and moved the status to complete and saved, you can just put an X in the chat for me, okay? So I know where you're at. Oh, and there's someone by my door, so I will be right back. It's good timing though, isn't it?
Not quite. So, okay, Jordan, seeing as you I've done it. I missed. I think I missed. Where are we
Yeah.
clicking to add this questionnaire?
And the top of the ID. So when you are in the
Yeah.
So the way we did it when
you
we
go
first.
the top questionnaires to the top, and you will see
back to
the
Yeah,
to
so
search
you go
at the
member.
top, yeah,
You
it says
said-
questionnaires. When you click,
Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the
see where
same
it
way
says
we
like
did it
main,
before.
personal, yeah, and then
Yeah.
you just search for
Which one was this
post.
one? The okay, Eat Well post.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
And this doesn't have like compulsory yellow things.
Because I think you need to get like a lot more background information, obviously, before they
Yeah.
go onto the program. And once they've attended the program, then it's just follow-up questions essentially.
But did I miss linking it to the appointment?
No, she hasn't said about linking.
Okay. All right, maybe I didn't miss anything.
No.
Thank you.
There we go. All right. Everyone good on your side? I can see an X
finishing.
from. Very nice. I can see an X from Jordan in the chat. So that's fine.
Then when I finish a questionnaire, I do complete or open?
Yes, you move it to complete.
Okay. I had a question before, but I have my microphone off and I was talking to myself. And it was that, what happened if I create, because I create 2 session 2s. Can I raise one or, so, it was just a mistake pressing a button instead of, I come back and I save 2 session 2s at the same time. Then that's, how can I fix it or leave it like that or what?
No, that's absolutely fine. Kieran, I might have to double check with you if you're happy for them to just delete that or if you want them to
just mark it as member cancelled like Felicia did for that session 2, but just add details onto the meeting notes as meeting double booked in error, because what will happen when we have an audit team at the business, and what they will see is they'll see a lot more than you're able to see. So they'll be able to see that a meeting was completely deleted. And for this contract, it's not necessarily an issue, but for other contracts, it is an issue if you're deleting things. So we just have a universal approach where if you book something by mistake, treat it as a meeting in the fact that you will mark it as cancelled and just say that member cancelled, incorrectly booked, correct meeting booked, and it just shows an audit trail of the mistakes you've made, just so it's everything is there in black and white pretty much.
Oh, that's good. Okay, I'm glad I asked. Thank you.
No worries, thank you.
Yeah, because sometimes in other systems, we had things like that. You made a mistake and you don't. Firstly, I don't have any control to do anything. I still here. I can do something. I had to create a ticket that somebody in IT go and do something. It was very complicated. Then it sounds good. Thank you.
Good.
Yeah, so there is that process which Felicia will cover about raising a process if we have to get something removed. However, just for the sake of it, for probably the time it's going to take you to cancel the meeting, it's going to be twice as long and involve twice as many man hours to get that meeting removed when it doesn't really change anything. So it is just the easiest just to then mark it as member cancelled as an individual error. Yeah.
Thank you.
Very good. So, Tom?
I was just going to say as well, just to sort of continue to cover yourself, just make sure you mention it to your manager as well. So therefore, if there is any sort of reporting issues that have been going on in the background, if they want you to follow a different process, they can advise. So just make sure you let them know as well. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Very nice. All right, so does anyone remember what I said in the beginning about the questionnaires? Specifically about how the different pathways might have slightly different named questionnaires. Do you remember? Yeah, I don't see any notes. Maybe.
I think I remember.
Maybe. So with the different pathways, you have, drink less, eat. We're currently doing the eat well one. So on the different pathways, the questionnaires might be named slightly differently, right? So like I said in the beginning of the session, with the drink less one, it will be, I can't remember what it's called now. Let me refresh my memory. It's called, so in the beginning, on the initial one, the drink less one is called making positive changes post questionnaire, but the eat well one is called eat well pre questionnaire. So they're named, slightly differently. Okay. So that also goes for the last questionnaire in this pathway and in other pathways as well. Okay. So they might be named slightly differently as well. And one thing to remember as well is that the final appointment might be on a slightly different week for the different pathways. Okay. So for the Eat Well one, the final appointment is on week 10. But on the Drink Less one, the final appointment would be on week 8. Does that make sense? Yeah? Claudia, no?
It's just, no, I understand. And it's the
Yeah.
different way that the programs is being designed,
Yeah.
basically. That's the standard.
So
Fine.
with regarding what they're called and when to book them and things like that, I'm not going to go through that today. That's something that you'll go through with Ops, I believe, Kieran. Is it Ops?
Yeah,
so.
it is. But
Yeah.
it's in the operational guidance as well, in terms of the kind of layout of them. So I know for how it's structured, so you have your initial as your first meeting, and I believe what operations do is they have week 2 as week 2 through 10. But I don't want to confuse anyone here. It will all be explained in ops, and they can kind of show them how they do it operationally as well to monitor things through Power BI and reporting.
Any questions? Does it make sense? All good. Good. All right. So let me just double check a couple things. All right. So I am going to give you guys an early lunch because we're making really good time. So I'm actually going to give you an hour and 10 minutes. So I want you to be back at 1 o'clock. And that is because we are making such good time. It seems like you guys are understanding the system really well. Like I said, we won't just abandon you after this session and everything. So please take your lunch until 1. So be back at 1. I'll put in the chat. Okay. And please step away from the computer. Don't touch anything on the computer. If anyone asks why you're not touching your computer, then say that your trainer has told you not to. Okay. And have a nice long lunch. Go outside and breathe some fresh air. I don't know, smell the flowers or whatever you want to do. And I'll see you back at 1 o'clock. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Perfect. See you then. Hello, everyone. Oh, maybe no
Hello.
one's... Oh, you are back. Hello. Did you have a nice
Hello.
lunch?
Well, I haven't really had much of my lunch.
Ah.
I had to go to the pharmacy. I went to the pharmacy to pick up something, and it was a huge queue. Then I
Not when that
just
happens.
run to come back.
That's
Phil. But I have some snacks in here. No, something.
good. All right, everyone is back on time. Perfect. So now after lunch, you might need to log out and log back in again to the system. And, oh, I need to share my screen as well. Now, when you just ate and you're like, your brain hasn't really started working yet, you're like, yeah, nice and cozy and warm, and I just want to like just chill. No, my brain isn't working. That's the stage at the moment. All right, let's see. Jordan, are you back actually? He might not be back yet. He's still on mute and oh, there he is. My goodness. Did you have a nice lunch?
Yeah, it was nice. Just had some time to kind of stretch and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, it's good though, isn't it, to just be able to take that bit of time and just decompress a little bit.
Yeah, just sort of like take in the information just bit by bit.
Exactly. Well, good. Well, all of us that need to be back are back. We can start without Tom, so we'll be absolutely fine. All right. So we're gonna go into follow-up appointments. So with follow-up appointments, you should book the service users 3, 6, and 12-month follow-up appointments. And like we said, to do this, you'll have to book it through the Read interview tab. So I'm going to pick one of you, and you are actually going to share your screen and show how to book in an appointment. So I'm putting you on the spot straight away. So, let's see. Tanya's currently chewing. Claudia's doing something. So Jordan, why don't you share your screen with me and book in a follow-up appointment?
Okay, let me just share screen. Okay. Right. I think I'm sharing my screen.
Yep, can you see it?
Okay. So follow-up appointment. Where? So how would I start this? Let me have
You're
a
on the
look.
right track. You're just not on the right tab.
Okay.
Yo. Getting warm. Getting warmer. Oh, very warm.
I think it's this.
Yeah.
Yeah, interviews, right?
Yeah.
Book interview.
Oh, you might need to reload the page and just log back in again because the system might
right. Hold on.
be
I
a
think
bit
yes.
slow after
Let me
lunch.
have a look.
Yeah, it's normally Citrix. They normally has an inactivity timer on
Right.
it.
Okay.
So you'll find when you're coming back from lunch, especially if you're not in the office, you'll have to relog in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go. It just always says that once you try to go to it.
Okay. Recent members.
There you go.
Interviews. Book interview. Yep, that's the program. Which one would I choose for location? I guess
So
remote.
just do remote. You'll do remote, I think, like 95% of the time, isn't it, Kieran?
Yeah, there'll be some clinics where you'll be delivering a service in a clinic, but generally it'll be that location available on the main system or remote, yeah.
Okay. And
so
it
this
will be the
is
follow-up.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, and we should have it, let's say, next Monday there. Start time. Yeah, start from one. Okay. And do I just click save?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Interview
that's
booked
it.
successfully. Okay, I'll click continue now. And I
And
can
there you
get
can see
that.
that it's been booked in.
Okay.
Very
good.
nice. Good job.
Thank you very much.
So during the follow-up appointment, like we said, you'll book that one in, and it will be 3 months, 6 months, and a 12-month follow-up appointment. So you'll book all of those in. We
These
also, yeah, go on.
Sorry,
Kieran.
if this starts 3 months after you do the final
Yes.
meeting. So once you've done your follow-up, so the post assessment, sorry. So on your week 10, you'll do the meeting, you'll do the post, eat well in this case, and then you'll book a follow-up meeting for 12 weeks, 26 weeks, and 52 weeks.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's the follow-up appointment that you just booked in. So during that follow-up appointment, you need to complete the questionnaire called Eat Well Follow-up, since we're on the Eat Well pathway. So Tanya, do you want to share your screen with me and launch the Eat Well Follow-up questionnaire? It's fine. I can't hear you if you're saying something, by the way, but I can see your actions and movements.
Oh my God, I feel like a proper old lady mode.
Oh no, you need to share your screen first. Because currently we can't see your screen.
Content.
Yeah. So in Teams, you have the big red leave button. And
yeah, so I'm on the share.
Yep.
So I've got share content.
Yep.
Standout content only, standout side by side reporter.
And you should just be able to see like your screen. So like whichever one show.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Okay, so what are you asking me to do, sorry?
So we're currently in the follow-up appointments that Jordan has booked in for us. So that's the one that we're currently doing. So in this appointment, we need to complete the Eat Well follow-up questionnaire. So could you help us complete that, please?
The Eat Well. Okay, am I picking? So, I feel so dumb.
You're on the right track.
On the right track. Okay. So am I launching a new questionnaire? Nope.
Yep, but not that one. So you need to, if you go back and choose the Eat Well follow-up from the drop-down. So you see how it says stage. Yep, so click on the drop-down. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. So that is the questionnaire that you'd have to complete with your participant during those follow-ups. So during a 3-month follow-up, during the 6-month follow-up, and during the 12-month follow-up. This is the questionnaire that you'd have to complete.
Okay.
Very nice. Jordan and Claudia, do you have those up as well? You could take your time and very nice. And you can stop sharing your screen now. There you go. Very good. So does that make sense with the follow-up appointment? Why we're booking those in, when we're booking those in, and what we are doing in those? I see some nods. Nice. Kieran, anything from you?
No, all covered from you. Thank you.
Very nice. So the next thing then is capturing service user measurements. So when we're capturing measurements, there are slightly different ones that may need to be captured on each of the pathways. You can see most of them are the same across the board, but there are a couple of them where you have to catch a couple more things. So it is important to know which ones you do have to capture. And if you have questions more questions regarding this, then please direct them to ops and your manager, and I'm sure they can go more into them. Is there anything in particular you want to go into, Kieran, before I go into the system again and show how to capture those?
No, just that this table is on the operations guidance as well. So it is on there in terms of if you ever need a reference point, you do have access to this table somewhere. Yeah. But the system does guide you pretty much of what measurements need to be taken. So when you select the Eat Well pathway, the options will be available only for pretty much the measurements that are required. So you won't have like CO reading on any of them because it's only a smoking service one.
Very good. All right. You should all be able to see my system again now, hopefully. Can you see my system now? Not my, yeah, I see some nods. Very good. All right, so capturing the information then. So during each appointment, you guys, you coaches, should capture waist, physical activity, cholesterol level, and alcohol consumed. So how you do that, or one way you can do that, is actually go to the membership tab. And you'd go down here, and here you can see that you can capture different things. So you can see you have the waist measurement here, you have the alcohol consumed, you have total cholesterol, physical activity, and blood pressure. So this is where you'd capture all of the information. So let's say I want to add a waist measurement, for example. I need to add a new row. So I'm going to add waist measurement row. Of course, make sure the date is correct, and then enter the value of that. So let's say they're at 92, and then save. That information has now been captured, and each time you're taking a measurement, it is very, very important that you do add a new row. Okay? Does that make sense? How you add that in the membership tab? I see some nods, so that's good. Another way that you can add it is actually through your appointment. So through the appointment that you can add it. So how you do that is you'd go to your Read Interviews tab and go down and make sure which one you want to capture it on. So let's say I want to capture it for session 1. I'd click on the date. And here you can see that we already have the measurement that we just made. But let's say I want to add another one. I can absolutely do that by just adding another waist measurement row. I can change the date if I want to. And I can add a new row. There we go. So clearly something happened to Moana between the 12th and the 13th. And here, like Kieran mentioned as well, you have the alcohol consumed, total cholesterol, physical activity, and blood pressure. So basically all the measurements that you can add through the membership tab, you can add through the interview as well, or through the appointment as well. Any questions on that, or does that make sense?
Yeah, I have a question. The measurements, are they done in every session? Or how often do you do it? Or you just capture it when you do it? How that goes?
I'm going to hand that question over to you, Kieran, because I think you're...
Yeah, every session, and then when you do the follow-ups as well.
Okay. So every session you have to go through alcohol intake, all the rest.
Yes. As you're going through, though, it'll get to, there'll be some where there's no change, so it's going to be kind of relatively easy, because when you're adding the next row, you can see the previous value on there. So it's only if there's going to be obviously drastic changes where the readings may change. But yeah, it's just to evidence.
I understand. And things like the cholesterol reading, they will have cholesterol reading by the end of the service, or how that will be?
I believe so. I believe there is a way to calculate and work out cholesterol in operations. So you'll just do that during the meeting.
Okay. So I believe, Claudia, this is more information that we're not able to give you. It'll probably comes through another training session, whether that's with ops or through someone else. I'm not sure, but we just basically show how to capture it in the system. We're not, we don't know entirely how you capture it, like physically how you capture it, if that would make sense. We just know how you're supposed to add it into the system. Does that make sense?
No, I understand. I think maybe the health checkers will take the cholesterol levels, but I mean, it will be maybe reported not every time, or will be the same until the end of the session, of the whole program, and then something will happen. I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, I think cholesterol is one of the biggest reporting areas, if I'm right in what I'm thinking, for the pathway. So it's one of the most important measures, along with like heart age and everything, because that's what the commissioner is paying us on, basically.
Yeah, but the cholesterol will not change in a week or two. I think
No.
that they will give it some time, maybe the period of the first. Well, as a health checker, we used to do that first cholesterol first session or initial session, and the end, then we compare.
Yeah, what I'll do, I'll quickly double check in the operational guidance, just while Felicia's carrying on, and just confirm if cholesterol is any different.
Because it's a blood test, then that'll be
Yeah.
performed by the coach, health checkers. Yeah.
Very good. Any other questions, Tanya, Jordan? Everything good from you? Very nice. All right. So next thing that we're going to go into is recording a dialogue. So coaches should dialogue any interaction with the service users, and that includes successful or unsuccessful appointments as well. And what this also includes is any phone calls. So whether that's a phone call that you've received or a phone call that you've made to the service user, or it could be that you've received an email from the service user, or you've sent an email to the service user. So anything regarding that, the dialogue, you need to kind of record that. So emails can be sent out from the system, which is very, very good. The same thing is that text messages can also be sent out through the system. But of course, if you're going to make a phone call, you'd make it through Teams, I believe, that you'll be using to put the phone number in Teams and send call from there. But even if you make a phone call through Teams, you still have to log it in Orion, just so we have that audit trail, okay? So to log a dialogue, you have to go to the dialogue tab in Orion. You'd create a new one. And here you can see that you have kind of different options. So you have audit, email, notes, phone call, and text message. When you are on the live system, you'll probably have more options that you can choose from. So you'll have a longer list of things you can choose from, which is really good. But if it's just a general note that you want to add, for example, you'll just be able to add that as an audit dialogue. So it could be audit, and it could be, for example, here, and Tom, help me out with an audit dialogue. My brain isn't working at the moment.
So it'd just be anything, just so if the participant has a new mobile number, as an example, you would put an audit dialogue to say service user has got a new contact number. This has been updated on the system. It's just to confirm kind of from the background that it's being done. So I'm just going to pop a quick screenshot in the chat. Just of the table from the operational guidance, and it does say basically which readings need to be taken at each appointment and which one is at what periods. So for Eat Well, sorry, you were correct, Claudia. It is at the start and at the end for the cholesterol.
So here we go. So we have the dialogue comment. We've made our audit reason, the time, and the status, and then we're just going to save that. Let's say I have completed, or let's say I just received a phone call, or I called the participant. I can do that as well. For the reason, I'd put phone call, and I just put what the phone call was about. So you can say called service user to confirm that they know when their there, sorry, point is. There we go. And then you can just save that. Like I mentioned, from the dialogue as well, you can do text messages and you can do emails from here as well. So if I do email, you can see that it changes in the dialogue. And from here, you can do different templates from in here as well. Like I said, in the live system, you'll probably have more templates that you can choose from than you can now in the test system. But let's say I want to do email acknowledgement. I can choose that in the drop down and then load that. It didn't load. I'll try course submission instead. There we go. So if I do course submission and load that, you can see that this is the email that will be sent out to your service user. So you can see that it is going to be sent out from your email address, and you can see which email it is going to be sent to. Okay. So as you can see, this is what the email will look like to my service user, Moana.
Just
yeah, go on, Kieran.
Sorry, Felicia, can you just demonstrate how to add an email address? Because I believe if Tanya's following, you've probably seen that there isn't an email address on your one that I created.
Absolutely.
So just on if that is the case, what you would do.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you don't have an email address for any reason, you can easily add it. So what you'll just do is on the main tab, and this goes for phone number and things like that as well. On the main tab, you can see they have a few different contact details. So you have the phone number, mobile number, and the email address again here. So you can update this email address if it's needed as well. And once you're done, you just click on save. And that took me back to the dialogue, but that's because I haven't closed it, but that will save. And that is your email updated. Does that make sense, Tanya? Oh, I can't hear you. You're on mute. Still on mute. Still on mute. Nope, you're still on mute. Claudia, you're also on mute. Everyone's on mute.
I'm on mute and I'm mute suddenly. I don't know what you said. Now.
Okay.
There
Sorry,
we go.
it's just different screens, just all sorts. No, yeah, when Kieran was saying I couldn't find an email, and then I just lost where you went to add
email?
Yeah, hold on.
So if you're on your participant,
recent,
go back main.
Yeah.
Main. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So just on the main tab, and there you'll see phone number, mobile number, and email
Contact
address.
Details. Okay, fab.
There you go. And don't
so you would
forget
just
to
add
save
it in there and then save it and then go back into the dialogue and then add. Okay.
Exactly. So then when you do go back into the dialogue, you'll be able to see if you do email again, you'll be able to see that it won't be blank anymore once you've updated that email address.
Okay, back into dialogue. Create new email. Fabulous. Yes.
Very nice. Also, when you load your emails, you'll see this more in the live system because automatically in the live system, appointment like reminders will be sent out. So when they're sent out, you can actually open them in the dialogue and you'll be able to see like the reminder has been sent out, and you'll also be able to see the little squiggly bits like this. What this means is that it's just pulling information from the record. So in this case, it's pulling the course name, it's pulling the start date of that course and the start time as well. So that's all that means. Because we haven't linked it to anything, it's not pulling that, but it'll pull that once it's kind of sent out, if that makes sense. It's just automatically pulled from the system. So it's the same thing with like a appointment reminder. So for example, if I do read interview appointment email and load that one up, you can see there has new little squiggly bits. It has the interview type, the start date, the start time, and the phone in this case as well. Does that make sense, everyone? Maybe?
Yes, it
Yeah.
makes sense. Yes.
All
But
right.
I have a question. You know, because when maybe don't know when you start a group, you know, there is certain sessions. For example, you know, 12 sessions. Then every time that you input the attendance of people, you have manually to invite the person to the next session, or is that because like I don't know, like an automatic thing to invite the person to the next session, or always the invitation needs to be sent? I want to know.
So with the group sessions, so you know when we added the module, so sometimes you'll create a group session and it will be like the system will have automatically set up. There'll be a group session every week for 8 weeks, for example.
Yeah.
If you then submit your service user to that group session, they will be automatically booked in on every single one of those sessions. So you don't have to add them on to everyone like manually. It'll just do that automatically.
Okay, okay. That's what I thought that will happen. Yeah. And all of these things will be very useful maybe for the communication with the service user in different ways. Okay, perfect. Good.
There we
Thank
go.
you.
One thing to note as well is you do still have the dialogue comments, even if it is in an email. So if you wanted to, you could send an email off and you could still add comments to it. And these comments is nothing that you can see in the email. It's just a comments for this dialogue specifically. If there is something else you want to add, like if there is something you want to remember when you're looking back at it or anything like that, you can add that in to here. One thing to note with dialogues, like dialogue comments and dialogues in general, and even when you make any kind of note in the system, is to please keep them professional and cordial. Like, please don't call your service user an idiot on the system, because they can ask for all the data of what we have on them on the system. So, you know, please be nice and professional, okay? All right, very good. So once that is done, you'll be able to save, hopefully. Is there a place on placeholder? Teams link if applicable. Should be fine. Nope, doesn't want to send it. Fine, I'll change and make it an email acknowledgement then. And save. There we go. And you can see when all of your dialogues have been saved, and you can look back on them. But when you have made comments, you will not be able to edit those comments after you've saved the dialogue. Okay? Any questions regarding dialogues or how to use them or anything like that? Does it make sense?
No. Yes.
Very good. Any questions in general? Or does it all pretty much all good for now, at least? Yeah?
For now.
For now.
For now.
That is absolutely fine. So the next thing I just want to mention is downloading an appointment letter. So that could be, for example, one of these appointments, and you want to email that, for example. So you can do just what I did and click on email the letter, and that will automatically send it to the service user. So if we click that, you can see that we have my email, the service user, what it is, and this is your appointment confirmed. So you can see that that is now in there as well. So you can send that directly from your appointment. So I'll save that. And that has now been sent out. As you can see here, we've just sent that confirmation, if that makes sense. You can also send it in letter form, like a print letter. And to do that, you'd have to just click on print letter. I know you might work from home and not from the office. So if you work from home, you'd have to check with Fiona how that process works in your area or office specifically if you want to do a print letter. But I know that's something that Fiona will probably be able to clarify on, isn't it, Kieran?
Yeah, I don't think they're using it unless it's a specific request.
Yeah.
And then it's a case you'd send it to someone who'd print and send it out on your behalf. But
Yeah.
I think normally they're sticking to email and text communications initially.
Very good. So the last thing that we're really good, well, not the last thing, the next thing that we're going to go through is closing a service user's record. So if a service user have successfully either completed it, or they would like to no longer participate, or you haven't been able to get a hold with them for a significant amount of time, the Orion record needs to be closed, okay? So to do that, we need to go to the Status History tab. And down here, you can see that you have the member status, and here you have something called Change Status. So we're going to click on that. And here you can see you have the drop-down Closed, and you have the reason for change as did not start. So this is the only option that I have in the training system. I think it might be the same thing for you, but I believe you'll have more options in the live system. So Kieran, you might be able to cover, I don't know if they have stay warm or anything like that in the live system, but
I think they do. Yeah, it might be called something slightly different, but something where they've basically paused their journey on the program for if they need to take some time away, if they become unwell and things like that. You can pause their status, but the training system I think only just has closed.
All right, very good. So you can change the status here. I'm not going to do that, but just so you know where it is and how to do it. I'll cancel that. And then the next thing that we're really going to go into is creating a DAR. So a DAR is what Karen was talking about before, that you've made a mistake on the system and it needs to be rectified, okay? So there are several different reasons that you might want to raise a DAR. You might have added the wrong information. You might have accidentally added from one service user to another in worst case scenarios, right? So there are several different reasons why you might need to raise a DAR, okay? So we're going to go to DAR here on the left-hand side. So here you see you have the option of raising a DAR and you can search for a DAR. So we're going to raise a DAR here. So you can see that I have already raised one for a different program. We're going to raise one for this program. So I think your window here will be empty. So we'll create a new DAR. It's just this blue button here in the middle of the page. Do you want to search for a membership ID? You'll click on yes. And this is where you're going to search for your participant, okay? Or for your service user. So you need to make sure you're on the right program. You shouldn't have many programs to choose from. And you can either search on the membership ID or the name. So I will search for the name. And then choose the correct participant. And here you can see you can also add different priorities. So you have low, medium, high, and critical as well. So this is kind of how important it is for them to get to your issue right now. Like basically, how bad was it, okay? So you'll click, I'm going to do medium. And then you have the request type. So for example, you have initial interview, participant record, documents. You have loads of different things that you can choose from in here. I'm going to choose initial interview. And then please make sure you have the correct program. Like I said, you won't have as many to choose from. And then in the details, this is where you're going to put what it is that you actually did. So I can put, I closed the initial interview on accident. I still need to add a few notes, so I would like it to be opened up again. You can add any files as well if that's something you want to do. Usually that isn't necessary, but that is an option. So once you're happy with it, you'll just click on submit. And that's it. So you can see any DARs that I've raised are just here now. If you click on the DAR ID right here, you can go into it. You can see which member it is, what status it is in here as well. And also you'll be able to add any notes, and you'll be able to see notes as well from anyone else who's been on this DAR. Does that make sense, everyone? All right.
Yes, it makes sense. What is DAR? Sorry, what is DAR state for?
Data amendment request, I believe, isn't it, Kieran?
Yeah.
Data amendment request. I got it right this time. Very good.
Very similar to what we used to have. It's really, really similar.
That's good.
And the other places. Yeah, it's very good. It's nice
very
to have.
Nice. All right. So, how do you guys feel about today's session? How do you feel about the information you've learned so far?
It's okay. It's fine. I think I'll be fine. It's just getting used to a new system and where everything
it's a lot,
is.
Isn't it? Yeah.
And just because halfway through I was like, oh, I've actually used Citrix before when I was a social prescriber. It's the same system that they're using. I don't know why it took me so long to remember.